Airlines have many rules when it comes to what is allowed and what is not allowed on board. Remember, packing the wrong items can definitely ruin your whole trip. So today I bring you items that are not allowed and those that are totally prohibited on board. But before we go into the video, if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe on my YouTube channel and give this video a thumbs up. Hit the notification bell so that you get notified whenever I upload a new video. Let's get into the video. So I will start with the prohibited items. These are the kind of items that you should leave home that are not allowed on board, either in your carry-on bag or your checked baggage. You should leave them home. They are not allowed to be checked. Item number 1. Explosive materials like fireworks, flares, and dynamites. These kind of items are prohibited on both your carry-on bag and your checked baggage. They are not allowed on aircrafts. Prohibited item number 2. Flammable items such as gasoline, gas torches, lighters, gas lighters, lighter liquids, and strike anyone matches. These kind of matches, they can be lit with striking. So I think that's the reason why they're not allowed on board. And paint thinner. Chemicals like chlorine, bleach, fire extinguishers, and fertilizers. Such kind of products are not allowed because they are considered to be dangerous and therefore they're not permitted on commercial passenger aircrafts. Such kind of items I've listed above, they should be left at home. Never pack them in other bags. You might find that this kind of items, some are allowed in the carry-on bag and they are not allowed in the checked baggage. Some might be allowed in the checked baggage and some might not be allowed in the carry-on bag. So let's proceed with sharp objects like pocket knives, box cutters, laser type of blades, and scissors which exceed 4 inches from the pivot point are not allowed on board. However, small tools like nail clippers, small scissors which are 4 inches or less from the pivot point, and other sharp small tools should be securely wrapped and packed in your checked-in baggage, but they are not allowed in the carry-on bags. They are not allowed on board. Sporting items and athletic equipment like martial arts weapon, lacrosse sticks, baseball bats. These kind of items are kind of common sense, but it might depend. Someone might be a sports person and you want to travel with your items, so it's better you check with your airline, because some items are sometimes allowed on aircrafts, but it varies with the type of airline you use. Because here comes like sporting items like tennis rackets, skating, snowshoes, like they are at times allowed on certain aircrafts. So it varies on, have to check with your airline for their specific policies. Because some equipments, to travel with them you have to pay extra cost or an extra fee. So it's better you check with your airline. And here comes my tip of the day. Before you travel or book any air tickets, make sure that you research with your airline policies, TSA rules and regulations for some certain items before packing. It will simplify your task. As you can see here in Egypt Air, recently in this year 2023, I saw this on Egypt Air. They were not allowing passengers to travel with such kind of Samsung phones and certain medications. They state here, passengers who were to travel with such kind of items, they might end up being detained or prosecuted. So that's why you should take a note of this. Before packing and boarding an air ticket or boarding on any airline, make sure that you make research on their policies. You might want to travel with any sporting item, any different type of batteries, and some batteries are combustible. And this might happen due to the weather changes. You know, the higher the plane goes up there are certain temperatures and changes that happens. So these this might affect these kind of batteries and they end up being dangerous to their passengers. That's why that might be the reason behind that Egypt Air rule that I saw there. So take note of making research with your airline before traveling. Self-defense items like pepper spray and blackjacks are also not permitted on board. Large quantities of alcohol, which is 140 proof or 70% alcohol content, can't be checked onto the plane. However, you may pack in your checked baggage up to 5 liters, but should be less than 70% alcohol content in them. So that means if you have a wine bottle and its alcohol content is 20%, 30%, then that is okay to go in your checked baggage. They should be 5 liters or less. Okay, so that means large quantities which are more than 5 liters are not allowed, are strictly prohibited. However, if it's 70%, it can be allowed in your carry-on baggage, but it should comply the liquids law that well-packed ammunitions and well-packed firearms, starter pistol can be put in your checked baggage, but must be declared at check-in, and endeavor to ask your airline about their specific policies, because some airlines, they charge an extra fee of passengers who have such kind of items. Here comes my last item, the mostly asked all over. This is the marijuana. So this is why you gotta hear about the marijuana. Marijuana laws vary according to states, and airports encourage travelers to check the specific laws of the states where they plan to travel. You might be detained and prosecuted for carrying such products onto your flight. The safest and simplest way is not to travel with any marijuana and pick up a new supply upon your arrival at your destination. In some countries, you might find that marijuana, it is okay for passengers to travel with them as long as they comply the liquids law in their carry-on bags, and in their carry-on bags in a safe packaging. And you might find that in some other countries, when they see you with it, it varies against their law. They have to detain and prosecute you. So endeavor and to check with your airline before any travel. That's all I had for you today. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to this channel if you haven't subscribed yet. Love ya. Ciao ciao.